talking about veterans who are actually doing something, we are honored to have our recent executive director of Veterans for Peace, Mike Ferner, who is right there in the middle of the 40-day fast. So,
Right now, I'm in New York City. I'm in New York. There are a number of us from Veterans for Peace and allies at the United Nations. Every day we have a vigil there with our signs and tell people what we're doing. The fast is called Veterans and Allies Fast for Gaza. There are six of us from Veterans for Peace who are doing this the 40 days at the 250 calorie limit. Plus, there's at least that many, and I'm sure probably more, in the area here who live around here who are doing 40 days, 250 calories, and have come down to visit us and be with us for a while on the street, actually right in front of the U.S. mission to the United Nations, which is across the street from the UN headquarters. And there are 600, as of this morning, 653 people have registered around the country and at least in two other countries that who are doing it with us. Not all of them doing the 40 days, but a number of them. But people who have committed to doing the fast at some level, like doing a Ramadan fast or doing 10 days or whatever. And there are people who are uh, organizing with their friends to form a chain, which is like we'll get 10 people to do 4 days each and that kind of thing. So it's catching on a bit, and we hope it'll catch on more.
where can people sign up to join the fast?
Well, you can go to the Veterans for Peace homepage, which is veteransforpeace.org. And we have a slider across the homepage, and the first window on that slider has got this logo on it, and you can click on that slider window, and it will take you to a site where you can register for it and find out lots of other information.
I just saw a email today from Mondo Weiss that I subscribe to who said that CUNY is starting a fast. Bunch of people up there.
Mhm.
So I don't know how close that is to where you guys are, but
Well, not far at all. Actually, if anybody's been following this a little bit, you know that there are students that are doing this all over the country. Well,
right,
probably
yeah,
all
yeah,
over the world, but all over
yeah,
the country for sure.
yeah.
Here in New York, CUNY, City University of New York, and Columbia, and probably others.
Hmm.
And we're just starting to get in touch with them. Uh, Phil Tottenham is one of the organizers of the fast.
Well, Mike, why are you fasting? And um, well, go ahead. You answer that question because I know the answer. I read Marjorie Cohen's article, and I also saw you on Democracy Now. But tell the audience why you're doing this.
Marjorie Cohen did a great job on that article, and at least the version of it that I saw on Consortium News, she had, or Consortium had, embedded a video of the cattle pens that they're putting the Gazans in before
Yeah.
they give them any aid. Anyway, okay, we're doing this fast, and I'm involved in it because it's just a very small example of what people in Gaza are going through. We picked 250 calories a day because some months ago we saw a report that that was what the average person in Gaza was getting. Now, that's some months ago, number one. Number two, uh, we drink clean water.
Yeah.
Number three, we have a place to go to bed every night, and we don't have to worry about getting bombed. And it's something that we're doing for a limited period of time. It's not something that we've had to do for months and years. So we want to be able to get people's attention and say, look, find out what's going on over there. We're murdering people by the thousands and starving them to death. And so that's why we're doing this. Well, our official demands are the first one is open up humanitarian aid under the authority of the UN, not these mercenary thugs that Israel and the U.S. has arranged to deliver the food. Number one, humanitarian aid under the authority of the UN, and number two, U.S. stop sending weapons to Israel so we can end this genocide. So that's what we're doing, and we. Yeah, well, let me just tell you. I'll give you this example. The last 2 days, I've been slowing down considerably mentally. It's not that much physical exertion, but we have to walk a number of blocks to the bus and then walk back, and then we're on our feet outside the U.S. mission. So it's starting to take its toll on me.
Yeah.
And 20 years ago, I did a fast for 35 days with Kathy Kelly, and we didn't eat anything, just water and tea. And it was all right. But as my wife is quick to remind me, that was 20 years ago. So that plays into it. I've got cancer, and I'm taking medication for it. So, it's not bothering me as such, but the medication is making things a little more difficult. Um, and I'm starting to slow down. We're on day 11. So
Oh.
one of the things that I like to do, in addition to being out there, being on the street, and so forth, is write people, write news releases, that sort of thing. And I find the last day and a half, I'm falling asleep at the keyboard. It takes me forever to write a simple declarative sentence. And that's while I'm drinking clean water, and the 252 calories is good stuff, and nobody's bombing me. So how in the world people are surviving in Gaza, and obviously hundreds of thousands aren't surviving, but how anyone, any human being can bear up under this is just unbelievable, just unbelievable.
You said to Marjorie Cohen that you were just tired of just going to a demonstration and holding a sign.
Yeah,
So you're taking this clearly the next steps. You said to Marjorie, watching hundreds of people maimed, burned, and killed every day just tears away my insides. Too much like when I nursed hundreds of wounded from our war in Vietnam.
yeah,
So I mean, you saw what it would look like, but what you saw was just a mere fraction of what the doctors and nurses are actually experiencing in whatever possibility there is in Gaza.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And similarly, as we're doing this little fast and on 252 calories a day, there's a pretty comparable example that you just brought up, Jim. I was a hospital corpsman at a Navy hospital during the Vietnam War, and we took care of guys who came back from Vietnam, hundreds of them that I was personally involved with. And that was a stateside hospital, which meant that these guys had already been through the battalion aid station in Vietnam. They had been sent to Japan to get, a little bit to make sure that they're going to make it alive on the flight home. So by the time they got to us, we'd go out to the Naval Air Station in Glenview, Illinois, and there'd be a B's, probably 727, painted battleship gray, medevac. You go up the ramp, and there's uh, no seats in this airplane. There's rows and rows and rows of stretchers. So we'd go there and take the guys off that were going to go to our hospital, and then they'd be in the Great Lakes Naval Hospital. The point being that they were able to access a good medical system. But still, we took care of guys with no arms, no legs,
Hmm.
infections that were rotting their extremities away, parts of their head missing,
Hmm.
insane, quadriplegics, paraplegics, people that would never walk again, would be in a bed and getting bed sores for the rest of their life. So, even though we were at let's say, the best place possible for those guys, that's what it was like. Now, as you said, imagine. I just read today the last hospital in northern Gaza has just been destroyed. And we've
Yeah.
seen what they do to the hospitals. We've seen the IDF go into those hospitals and kill people and grab people they suspect is somebody they want to take prisoner. And it's just, I mean, forget saying they're committing war crimes and that they are violating the Geneva Convention. These people are behaving in a completely inhumane way. They must lay awake at night thinking of how they can be cruel, and it's warfare on a level that we haven't seen since we nuked Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah. And then they go through and destroy all of the medical equipment in the hospitals.
Yeah, yeah. It's extermination. That's genocide is, it doesn't, it sounds bad, but it's extermination. It is a country, and we're providing the wherewithal. It's a country that is using every bit of its military force to kill as many people in Gaza as they possibly can, no matter how. Starvation doesn't matter.
No.
I heard today I was talking to David Swanson, and he said there was a Canadian journalist interviewing a Canadian parliamentarian, and the question she put to him was, if every person in Gaza was killed, women, men, children, starved to death, whatever you had to do, kill every single one of them, would you still support Israel? And the answer came back, I support Israel.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. And, and the latest complicity is, you mentioned this before, this Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is providing some sort of assistance, but it's a combination of U.S. and Israel to bypass the UN.
Yes.
And, and they're providing very little. And then when people gather, well, it's chaos.
Yeah.
And it's purposely chaos so that they can make Hamas look bad, and then they'll shoot them up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I mean, they call it weaponizing humanitarian aid.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, that sounds pretty bad. What does that mean? That means that some person who's barely able to walk gets over to where there's some food, and they either create a condition that causes chaos, or they just plain shoot them. And let me tell you a little bit about that Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. It's run by the U.S. and Israel. Crime number one. You don't have belligerents in a war running the humanitarian aid. That is verboten. But in addition to that, there's this Jake Wood, who is a former military person, is the executive director, and Philip Riley, who's former CIA, is sort of the day-to-day operations guy. And he runs a company called Safe Reach Solutions, which is a military contractor, and they have worked hand in glove with Constellus, which is another military contractor, and that Constellus is the current name for Blackwater. So what do you have? You have the Israeli and the United States government setting up ways that they can make life as miserable as possible for people to get any food at all, and then they've already figured out here's how we're going to make sure we kill as many of them as we can while they're trying to get food. And that's what our taxes are paying for.
Yep.
And they get to concentrate them in the South. And
Yeah. But have you seen the pictures of the cattle pens they have?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what best I can describe it is they have, it's like, 6 or 7 or 8 people wide. They've got barbed wire barriers in between the rows, and they've got 4, 5, 6 rows. And so you look at this from above, and it looks like a cattle pen, and you think, my God, somebody in there finally goes crazy or says the wrong thing. IDF tells them to shut up. They don't shut up. They shoot them, and all of a sudden now there's chaos, and we got to shoot people to defend ourselves.
Yeah, leading them to slaughter. Leading to slaughter. What would you ask people to do?
Please, 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 in the name of humanity, whatever you have done, and a lot of your listeners have probably done something to oppose this genocide, but whatever it is, sit down and think about what you can do that was more than that. And that's one of the reasons we started this fast. And people have been telling us, boy, am I glad you started this. I've been looking for something more to do. So go to the Veterans for Peace website. It's veteransforpeace.org. On the front homepage is a slider with this logo. And you click on that, it'll take you to a page where you can get all the information you need and sign up for this fast. I mean, another thing people can do, quite frankly, is donate. We got here on our own dime. People are here from Buffalo, New York, from California, from Florida, from Ohio, and we all got here on our own dime. And, not to be funny, but we'd like to go home. And so, and there's a lot of other costs associated with this. I mean, lots of things. I mean, we don't spend much money on food, obviously, but banners, flyers, transportation all the time. So what I'm trying to say is, please go to veteransforpeace.org, click on that logo, sign up for the fast, send a donation if you possibly can, and help keep this thing growing.
Is there a way to donate earmarked for the fast?
Yes. If you go to veteransforpeace.org, actually, that when you click on that, it will take you to the Friends of Sabile North America website, and they've got a donate button on there, and God bless them, they're a good organization, but we've got to get our donate button on there just for the fast. So we're circulating that through emails and everything we possibly can. I mean, you've probably gotten at least one. I'll make sure you get another one, and we're trying to get a little better organized here. If you just click on our donate button, I don't think you get the there. If you go to the VFP website and click on donate, you can say you want it to go to the fast.
Okay, so there's a place for us to enter that. Yeah. How many hours a day are you guys out there with your banners and all that?
We're at
getting much interaction by passersby and all that.
We're on the street right in front of the U.S. mission to the UN on First Avenue and 42nd Street from 9:30 in the morning till 3, 7 days a week. We may be taking the next Sunday off or something, but so we're out there. We get your typical small number of cranks who flip us off, and tell us where to go. But the cab
Well,
drivers,
that takes a lot of nerve to say that to somebody who's fasting.
yeah. Usually they say it on a bike or a car speeding by.
Right.
But there's a lot of cab drivers who honk. I mean, a couple of them have thrown us a 20. And people walking by, usually they're walking by, staring straight ahead, looking at their screens. But the people who avert their eyes and actually see what we're doing, almost all of them are grateful that we're there.
Good. Any news coverage of what you guys are doing?
Oh, from the U.S. media?
Yeah.
We have your show.
I mean,
Democracy Now!
We have Democracy Now! Any number of small local community radio stations all over the place that have dozens of listeners. There's been Al Jazeera. TRT, which is a Turkish network,
Yeah.
and Anadolu, which is it's a Turkish also, but they're like the AP, and they have bureaus all over, and they have subscribers, and they get that news all over the place.
Mhm.
And there was I forget the name of them. I got to get this uh, something Christian News Network or something, and they ran our news release, which was nice.
Okay.
All right, but nobody from MSNBC.
Who?
Yeah, I'm going to call Rachel Maddow right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good luck.
And let me tell you, every one of those birds got a news release to them. So
Yeah.
nobody can say, it's just like nobody in this country can say, oh, I didn't know that was going on. The press
Mhm.
can't say, I didn't know that was going on.
Mhm.
So,
I can just hear it now. There's some reporter who would generally like to do a story talking to her editor and say, hey, can I go out and cover those guys? Says, wait till somebody dies first.
uh, uh,
I
well,
mean,
we don't want anybody that we don't
no.
want as
Are you
as
getting any kind of medical supervision?
Hey, I was a hospital corpsman, man. What do you want?
so it's on
We
site.
we are we're taking our blood pressure and pulse and weight
Okay.
every day,
Okay.
and just generally, I mean, more than anything, you can tell by how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And about 3 days ago, this was catching up to me a lot quicker than I thought, and I was going to pick up the flyers from the printers,
Mm.
and I just started losing consciousness.
Mm.
And I had to sit down, put my head between my knees,
Mm.
and I tried getting up 3 different times. So I just sat there on the sidewalk, waiting until I could stand up and walk. Well, I realized I wasn't drinking enough water. But
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Kathy
Right.
Kelly, who has been through this more than probably any other living human being on the planet, yesterday, her husband convinced her that she needed to not go out to the UN. She's staying in an apartment not far from there,
Mhm.
but her blood pressure was so low that she was to the point where at any moment standing up there because the kindly uh, the U.S. mission to the United Nations won't let us sit anytime. We had
You're
these
kidding.
tiny we had these tiny little stools, that you fold up
Yeah.
Yeah.
that we used those for the first couple of days, and then they came out and said, you got to get rid of those. And one of the fasters said, well, how about if we sit on this? Nope, there's no sitting here.
That's
And
the U.S.
Mm.
mission. The
it's the U.S.
U.S.
mission. It's the
Yeah.
NYPD that patrols that section right in front of the U.S. mission. And the people here, the peace groups that have been doing this for a long time, having vigils, have got a good relationship with those cops. So,
Mhm.
we've been in some good conversation. So I went up to the cop that was telling us that, no sitting, and I said, Officer, I'm a 74-year-old half infirm person. And I said, I could fall out on this sidewalk right here, and I'd give the NYPD a big black eye. And he looked at me and without smiling very much, said, I'll call you an ambulance.
Mhm.
Oh, that's just cruel. United States mission not letting you even bring a stool,
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
stool. So, well, that brings up a question, and I hope you're doing all right. Um, you're 74. Kathy Kelly is at least
72, 72.
72. Okay,
Mhm.
Kathy Kelly is 72. What is the age distribution of the people that go to the protest and hold the banner?
Well, Russ, um, and there goes the mental acuity. Russell Brown is a VFP member from Buffalo. He's at least a couple years older than I am.
Mhm.
Ken Ash from Asheville is at least my age, probably older. I'm sure he's a little older.
Mhm.
Um, uh, there've been we're not all ancient. And I didn't tell you this. I'm sorry. The other main person with me as far as getting this fast going. His name is Phil Tottenham. He lives in Toledo. I happened to run into him on a Palestinian support rally in Toledo, And I just noticed him there and introduced myself, and always looking to recruit somebody for VFP. I said, "You happen to be a veteran?" He says, "Yeah, I was a Marine." We get to talking. We went out to get something to eat after that, and practically with tears in his eyes. And I just met this guy. He's sitting there across the table from me, and he says, "This genocide is just killing me." He said, "I really want to do what Aaron Bushnell did when he lit himself up. He said, but I don't have the courage to do that. Is there something we can do that will be as full and significant as we possibly can?" And I said, "Well, there's fasting." And he said, "Do you think we can get VFP to do a nationwide fast?" And I said, "Well, I've tried to get VFP to do any number of things coordinated around the country, and it ain't easy." But I said, "But I'll put the word out." So I did, and we got a little response, and we got a little more. And then the people from Friends of Sabile North America jumped in and said they'd keep track of the people who are registering to fast and do a web page for us and that sort of thing. And I'm not kidding you, within 10 days from the time Phil and I had that conversation, we had figured that with luck we could pull it off, and we went public with it. And we've got 600 and almost 700 people now. So that's the genesis of this thing. And as all things, any kind of push for the common good and the advancement of what we call civilization is going to come from the bottom up. And all I can say is bless every person who has responded positively to this.
And you can sign up for the fast by going to veteransforpeace.org, and you look at the
Veterans and Allies Fast for Gaza.
Fast for Gaza. All right. Very good, Mike. Thanks so much for all you do. I'm going to sign up with whatever fasting I can do.
That's great.
And I'm going to send a donation and tell Shelley to make it go through Mike Ferner's trip home.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On that.
Right now, before I go, I'll send you guys the link to the account she set up, just so you have that and can get it around to people.
Good.
All
and
right.
Clearly, you haven't been reading my fundraising emails, you two. But
I've been looking at them.
all right, that's fine. No, I'll send you the direct link, and then you'll have it then.
All right, very good. Mike, we'll let you go now. Lay down and get some tea.
Yeah, get some rest and hydrate, man.
Yeah. Well, God bless you both.
You too.
Bless you and all of you.
God's work. You're doing God's work.
Thanks. Take care, buddies.
All right.